Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. I'm Tracy Shuchart, Senior Economist, and here's what happened while we were away. We saw markets take a turn. Earlier this morning, we had indexes down and oil up. That has since reversed. According to a report on NBC, President Trump requested in a phone call with Netanyahu to reduce Israeli attacks in Lebanon in order to help ensure the success of negotiations with Iran. Netanyahu then announced, in light of Lebanon's repeated appeals to open direct negotiations with Israel, I instructed the cabinet to open direct negotiations with Lebanon as soon as possible. Now, a senior Lebanese official told Reuters that Lebanon is pushing for a ceasefire before allowing talks with Israel, adding a date or location for a ceasefire talk has not been yet set, and Lebanon needs the U.S. as a guarantor for any deal with Israel. Then we had news from a senior Israeli official that they said they expect indirect negotiations between Israel and Lebanon to begin next week. The first meeting will take place at the State Department in Washington, and they will scale back attacks on Lebanon until that time. Then we also had Trump speaking once again on NBC. He said, if Iran doesn't make a deal, it'll be painful. Trump also said that Iran is more agreeable than it shows in public and says Israel is scaling back on Lebanon operations. Iran's Khomeini reiterated then afterwards that they're seeking compensation for war damages, and they are moving to a new stage in managing the Strait of Hormuz. We also had a 30-year auction, which was rather unremarkable. The offering tailed by half a basis point, stopping at 4.876%, with a remarkably average set of demand stats. Bid cover 2.39, indirects took 64.1, directs 24.2%, and dealers 11.6%. We do have some news in the private credit world. And not good news. We have a $7 billion private credit fund managed by Carlyle Group capped redemptions after investors asked to pull 15.7% of shares in the first quarter. Carlyle Tactical Private Credit Fund is paying out less than a third of what investors asked for, capping withdrawals at 5%. This comes obviously after, and we've been talking about this, this comes as investors are rushing to yank out billions of dollars of from private credit vehicles run by managers from Blue Owl to Cliffwater LLC this year. Moving on, in some good news, I guess, we have mortgage rates decline for the first time since the start of the war with Iran, providing some relief for the U.S. housing market as spring selling season kicks off. The average rate for the 30-year fixed loans was 6.37% on Thursday, down from 6.46% last week. We have some news. We have some NFL news. The U.S. State Department has opened up an antitrust probe on the National Football League, looking at whether its broadcast deals with the media companies drive up cost for consumers. The NFL and other sports leagues currently have an antitrust exemption that allows them to negotiate media deals collectively on behalf of their teams under the 1961 Broadcasting Act. But media outlets, regulators, and members of Congress have recently highlighted how difficult it is for consumers to be able to watch games amid the labyrinth of streaming, broadcast, and cable options. Policy experts have begun a debate to whether the act applies to negotiation beyond free broadcast TV distribution. So we'll see how that does progress. And last but not least, U.S. Gulf Coast crude exports are poised to reach a record 5 million barrels per day in May as Asian buyers snap up cargoes from the Atlantic Basin to offset the loss of Middle Eastern supply. Crude shipments for April are already inching toward about 4.9 million barrels a day based on current loadings, up from roughly 3.97 million barrels a day in March. So the U.S. has been the benefactor for some of the unfortunate things that are happening elsewhere. And with that, I will pass it off to Jim for an Edge report.
Thank you, Tracy. Let's take a look at the E-mini S&P. I have a 10-minute candle chart up on the screen. You can see a big rally and yeah, maybe a slight retracement happening right now. What's interesting is the volume profile, right? It's not a very good one. It's a double distribution with some bulk in the middle also, so it's a little wacky. But if you think about it, the official point of control is pretty low, right? It's at 68.14. But we haven't been anywhere near that price since this candle here at 11.10 to 11.20. We've been nothing but up from there. So one thing that you could do, and I do this every once in a while, is you could anchor a volume profile to start at whatever time you wanted. So if I wanted to look what the volume profile was telling me from when we left what is still the official point of control, it's easy to do. I'm just going to right click on the chart and I'm going to go to drawing tools and I'm going to look for the secondary menu here and I'm going to go down till I see order flow volume profile. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It starts the anchor, right? So I'm going to click where I want to start and I'm going to drag over to where I want to end. And it's just going to give me the volume profile for that time frame. So a lot of times you're going to see, well, where's the most recent point of control? And then you could kind of line it up with, what we're seeing overall in the day and kind of reiterates, hey, right now it seems like price happiness seems to be around 68, 63, which is is exactly where we're trading around right now. So it's kind of a handy tip. You could anchor it to wherever you want. A lot of people anchor it to the regular trading hours and move it forward here. And as the day matures and gets longer and longer, most times that anchor at the regular trading hours results in a profile that looks super similar to the session-wide profile as well. So keep that in mind as well. So what's happened here? We hit a high. We kind of retraced back down. We almost tapped that Jack's 1 level, right? At 68.50. Almost got there. Buyers are bringing us back up again to that newer point of control. So that's kind of number one. Number two, what could happen? If we get a rally here at the end of day, we have a couple of targets up here. We have a couple PAX lines, and let's just average those PAX lines off at 6,900 even, which is also where that call resistance and 0 DTE call resistance level sits. So that could be attractive. Also, we have that 1-day max just a little bit below that. That's that MenthorQ expected range level that we get every morning. And a lot of times on trend days or on big days, these max and min numbers are pretty good. Right below that, another target is R1 at 68.91. This is part of the regular daily pivot study. Alternatively, on the downside, if we do crack the JAX 1, we also have previous sessions highs, which is pretty tight there. It's another area of interest. That's around 47.5. And then I have my IN VWAP, right? The session VWAP. Just a reminder, you could anchor a VWAP the same way I just anchored the volume profile using the same menu. I don't have that here. I have the whole session right now. And at this point, they're going to line up pretty closely. But in any event, that would be a pretty big retracement. That's going to be about a 50% retracement back down if we get down there. So I'm not really looking for a VWAP touch today, to be honest with you. But if we do, something bad happens, again, the news cycle is pretty brutal, as you could tell. There's that possibility. But we're way above that IB high right now. So right now, see what happens on the retracement. Treasury bonds, it was another wild day in Treasury bonds. I mean, look at this chart. Let it populate a little bit here. But, this was kind of a big range, right? So we were kind of sideways. Boom, the bell rang. Sellers came in and brought us all the way back down to that S1, that pivot line. Now, the S1 part of the pivot study and the R1 are pretty good levels along with the pivot when you're looking for areas of interest, particularly in the Treasury bond market. Sure enough, that's framed the bottom of the conversation here. This is support. This is session lows. That was at 113.23. So we went really from pre-market and the London IB high up from 114.08 all the way down to 23. That's a pretty big move. That's about $500 a contract. And then we kind of rallied all the way back up. We blew through VWAP. We hesitated maybe for 10 minutes, and then we just rock and rolled all the way up to that call resistance level, that 0 DTE call resistance level. Shot by it by about 4 ticks, couldn't get any more traction, and now sold off all the way back down. So this low move, this 113.23 up to that 114.20 20 level is almost one handle, right? Almost a full point. That's about $1,000. a move per contract. So again, big move, a lot of volatility in this market. We usually don't see that, especially after the bell rings, but we're seeing it today. This market is selling off pretty decently. We'll see how it deals with VWAP first. We're pretty close to it at 0.05, and then how it deals with 114.02. And just real quickly, remember the line in the sand here is kind of important. Previous resistance is now support. That's that rectangle where my crosshairs is. 1331 up to 1402. And I have my eye on this market while I might be looking at an equity trade because there's going to be some correlation there. So keep that in mind. That is this afternoon's Edge Report. We are ready for our main event to trade the close. We have three very talented traders with us today. We have XYZ hailing from Los Angeles, California. We have Jack Gleason out of Chicago, Illinois. And then we have Christian, aka Trading Boxes, also out of LA. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
We got one Midwest and two West Coast representatives, man. You're outnumbered, Jack.
That's all right. They can keep that sunshine. We like it cold here.
New glasses, Jack. I like those glasses.
Yeah, well, I'm giving the POV, so you only see one screen. I have 4 up, so we're gonna work on getting everything out there and starting to vlog because NinjaTrader is going to be coming out with some real sweet content in the next few weeks as we head down to Miami. So,
absolutely. And Christian, you have the same glasses you always wear, right?
Yeah.
Are you near sighted or far sighted?
I'll upgrade later.
Jack's got the influencer glasses.
I figured, sign me up, have me record everything.
XYZ wears contacts probably.
I actually don't wear no glasses, no contacts.
Whoa. All right. He's young and healthy all the way around the board.
Chains.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
That's a secret. In any event, let's go around the horn and see what you guys are thinking. XY, you go first.
I'm short from the 240s. I'm down to a runner now, so I honestly this is where I am. I think it's a pretty good situation. Generally, I would have trailed this already.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of getting real greedy on this. I'm sitting on insanely padded P&L for the day. So I feel okay about it. Just in case, yeah. I mean, they've tried that prior day high again and again and again. ES is having some issues up top. I think from where I'm seated with this runner, I got to make it count.
Okay.
I got to make it count.
And you said you peeled off a couple already or no?
I had 5 on. I peeled off 4 on the way down. I peeled the last one as a swing broke right here, so 160s, right before this low volume spot. Yeah, so we're rocking with the runner now.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Christian, what are you thinking, man?
Well, all my targets hit already on this move. I was long from the morning lows. I closed it. Here are my scenarios for the day. Scenario 1 and 1.2 triggered for both, and it was to target the prior day high in NQ. ES target 68.60, 70. We've hit that, and now we've reached a high resistance. Like XY said, NQ could not get above prior day high, so we did have a divergence there between NQ and ES. And now we're getting a pullback. So I do like the 25,100, 120 area in NQ. If we can pull back there, that was the IB high resistance, the morning highs. I'm interested in a long there if we do see that. But now we're most likely going to be in a range here between this 100 and 260s. So we'll see if I do see a pullback to that area to get long. But like XY, it was already a big day, and we'll be picky about my spots.
Got it. Sounds good. Jack, how many positions you got, buddy?
Just one. I also hit targets. I was long ES, got out my final at around 68.70 area, and I am covered 2/3 of my CL position here, kind of sitting on the last bit. This is kind of the make or break level for me here in CL. I do like Christian's level or area for NQs with that IB high. That IB high is also the midpoint from the RTH low. That level lines up at 25,133. So that's what I'm going to be looking at as a hawk. I am bullish on the higher time frame here, although I like XY's target all the way down new lows of the day. You always got to leave something out there just in case the crazy things happen, which seems to be the market we're in. But if I were to think we stay in the pattern we are, 54s was a level I was looking at in the ES. And we've held that. So if we actually hold these lows within 15, 20 minutes of getting off the mic, I do think there's a chance at new highs of the day. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at the NASDAQ as it dips into the midpoint at midpoint of the day, which lines up with that IB high, 25,115 area. So we'll see if we hold these. Since we've traded the last support, we haven't had much continuation here. So if we start dipping back up into these, like this fair value gap, I may get a little more aggressive with my longs. Otherwise, I'm going to be patient.
Very, very awesome. All right, you guys. I'm going to dip in the chat. Wish you guys the best of luck on your trades, and I'll talk to you on the backside.
Take care.
Take care, Jim. Morning chat. Not morning, afternoon.
It might be morning for you still in California.
It is. It's 11 in the morning.
Yeah, that's funny that you get on for the afternoon session before the afternoon.
Yeah.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I was spamming some longs. It's been a crazy day. Just spamming the longs. I did get short off of that first test of Friday high. Didn't expect it to work out as well as it did. I really just was expecting a pullback after I got flat just to ride with it. And then I flipped long again, the 170. So I've been trying to get a break. Long 170s, scale, add some more in the 190s, 200s. Trying to get a break of new high. So scaling out, holding one for 430s. Little greedy as it is. But I thought it was possible. And then they kept just failing prior to high. So, I mean, right before we got on stream, when we were in the green room, I got short. Saw that Jim got short eventually as well. Congratulations, Jim.
Yeah, that was a nice, I don't know where his entry was, but good for you and good for him.
Yeah, can't complain.
The boys are on the same side. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a pivotal point for me in these indexes and both CL. I'd want to see CL stay below this swing high. Otherwise, starts playing into the will the next level hold game, which is not a fun game to be in. So if we do start moving up against this CL high, I'm going to be taking the remainder of this off and waiting for a bigger index pullback.
What's going on at work? He says he's struggling with trading NQ. What is it that you need help with? Are you oversizing? You're not reading the trend well? You're buying where you should be selling? Or there's many ways to...
The doctor's got a diagnosis. He's going to start out with a couple of questions. You're going to answer them as accurate as you might know, and prescribe some.
Where does it hurt?
Yeah, where does it hurt? How bad is the pain? Medium pain.
Not reading the trend well and probably over trading. Do you have a system, kind sir? It might not sound like it. Well, you're in luck. The three of us understand trend structure really well. If we combine forces, we could be our own hedge fund.
I think that's true. It would be the Ninja hedge fund streamer. I'd take the mallet to the knee now.
Somebody goes long, somebody goes short.
Yeah, I mean, if you are over trading, something I always tell myself is like you got put some time, put some space between trades. I don't know if any of you guys got a chance to tune into Salma's episode with that author. Gosh, I forgot his name. But she talked about just taking time away from the desk and getting up, how much she works. She said like 10 to 14 hour days often. And I find myself sometimes doing that as well, especially if you're trading Asia. If you're not getting up from the desk and walking away, or giving yourself, like sometimes for me, if I find myself over trading or just, trying to force things, I have a specific signal that I look for, and I just step away from my desk, and I'll literally, I've trained it to be an audio based signal. So I don't even have to look at my charts. I literally get an audio alert. So something you got to think as you dive deeper into trading, like what is it specifically that you're looking for that's enticing the market to get in, and waiting for that. If you're over trading, you're probably, you're not being very specific about the types of setups you're looking for. You're not being specific about confluence. You really need to dive into what is it that makes you want to take a trade. And then also, if you get stopped out, is your immediate reaction to get back in? I think we've all probably been there at some point in our careers where you take a stop and you feel the need to immediately trade to get back those losses. You really have to eliminate those habits as fast as you possibly can, and recognize what you're doing that's wrong.
You know what? The bigger part of that is to slow down, because if you're just starting out in this journey and you're trading the smallest time frame, then your reactions are going to be faster and you're not going to be able to frame your trade idea well. Later on, as you advance, you can get to XY's level, and he's on the smallest time frame, and he'll execute. If he likes it, he'll get in. If he not, he'll close it. But if he sees something on the DOM that he's like, no, I do want this, he'll join back in. But you
It gets
need
really
experience
tricky.
for that. Yeah,
You
you
get
need more
lost in the
time.
sauce, man. Like Chris said, you really want to slow down, because that's when you can finally, all right, take a step back, look at the bird's eye view, right? What do you have on your charts? You have different time frames, you have this and that. That's when you slow down, you can finally look at something, and you will probably realize there's something that you are missing that's on your higher time frame, that's on this or whatever other input. It's very important to do so, because yeah, like I said, you get lost in the sauce. You're getting back in on that trade that didn't work, this and that. But if you slowed down, took a step back, you're probably going to see something on your input somewhere that's like, oh, I see what's going on. Yeah, I should not be doing this, or this isn't going to work anymore. I shouldn't get back in. This has been invalidated, such and such. It's really important to slow down. And it's hard to do because, yeah, you get lost in the sauce. I did see the segment with Jared and Salma, and with what Jack was saying about like just spending all the time on the charts all the time, there was a part that really resonated where he said that unless you're a super freak athlete or this or that, it's very hard to have peak performance for over 55 minutes, an hour, this or that, or 14 hours straight of peak performance is very unlikely. It's probably not healthy, even if it's likely. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you've got like this 50 minutes, this to an hour of like peak performance, and you've got to like take a break, step back." And it helps me validate my own process, because that's what I do. I take, I don't trade for too long, because I can already feel after a certain point like my peak performance is gone, my mental capital is spent. It doesn't matter if my P&L is crazy. It doesn't matter if this or that. My mental capital is being spent, even if I'm in a winning trade. Even when I'm not in a trade at all, even when I'm just looking to get into a trade, the mental capital is being spent. When you're in a trade, it gets spent more quickly. When you're in drawdown, it's even faster. I mean, someone just filled 816, 17 lots, 155s here. There was a bid, 800 plus lots on the bid. They filled them right away. Didn't take any time. Instant fill. That's actually insane. I don't know where this market's going to go. But yeah, it helps me to validate my own
100s.
process too. As a, hey, you do your work for X amount of time and you're done. But yes, that fill was insane.
Hopefully we can get back to IB highs. I'm interested there.
I did move my trail up about 45 points here. It's looking okay. We're about 86 points in. I feel okay with holding it for now, but as soon as we get closer to VWAP to the 120s, I'm definitely, if we do get down there, I'm definitely going to start feeling paper handy. So they're going to have to really punch it, give me like a liquidation type of activity for me to hold through that.
What's CL doing?
We've
I
got,
took it off and then added it right back a little higher.
are you long or short CL?
I was short covered and then just reshorted just because I'm expecting this bar to continue to reject here. It was a
Something crazy is going on in the indexes. ES didn't really see a huge pool of liquidity here, but NQ did, which is interesting. So it's all about the 155 right now. This is the over under because 851 lots on the bid traded through.
there's the news there. Operational activities halted at several energy facilities in Saudi Arabia due to recent attacks. But we really, I mean, that was $1.55 5-minute bar there in CL. So this is going to be, if this thing continues up, definitely going to get those indexes pushing lower, but it doesn't seem like they're getting the same type of aggression as the oil market is. And we saw that earlier today when, oil was kind of heading on highs. The indexes could not take lows. And that was kind of your first sign that we might get a reversal, that divergence. I don't know if anybody was paying attention to it this morning, but oil was just ripping, and we were up like 8%, 9%, maybe even. And, NASDAQ got close to those overnight lows. ES could not take them. And then sooner or later, you saw what we saw, which was, I don't know how many points that was out of the low, 300 or so in the NQ. Big, big move.
Well, you know what? On top of that, we also had a divergence between ES and NQ at that IB low. So it's just that area was stacked with just things to like sort of yell out at you and say, hey, this is going to reverse.
Yeah.
This could possibly revert if they don't start accepting below the 155 here. There's a really aggressive a bid that showed up. I mean, they're still here at 155s. Every time we blip under, they're not trading much size at all. There's like single digit lots being traded. They got to get through this bid if they want lower. And if they can't, this can hold up the whole thing. There's so much size here on the bid. I don't remember the last time I've seen
100s though.
this much.
I don't look at the Russell.
If you could only trade one mini, how would you go about taking profits to get maximum EV? If I could only trade one mini, I would rather trade 10 micros. So
You can't take profits, partials with one contract.
Yeah, you got to go 10 micros. But if I were ever scalping just one mini, and I did so for the past like 2 sessions here and there, if I were ever doing one mini, it's because I'm looking for just a scalp. And that would be where the take profit is. Anything that's just a scalp, it could be 15 points. 20 points is a really good, like a one lot scalp in my book. Yeah. Different for what I'm doing, like on a regular basis, I would rather have 10 micros than one mini for sure. Is there a reason you don't want to just do 10 micros?
Craig, is that an old attack or that's not a recent attack? Is that just them announcing the damage?
You can watch reload bid. You can watch the NQ order flow and execute on micro. Do you limit, like what do you do? Do you hotkey on the chart? Do you use a DOM and limit order? Do you hotkey on the DOM? Like, what are we doing? Because there are ways around it. Plunge protection team. Yeah, that's overnight, isn't it? I limit using the leg to leg. So you can do that on a chart, right? You can make like a separate chart that's micros, that's activated micros. Or Stowe was saying like something like you can actually overlay. It makes your candles a little funky or something like that, but you can have your chart running NQ data and execute MNQ. These are NQ, Jim Wood.
What's the best time, or what's the best way to take profit with 10 micros? I mean, it would depend on your strategy. I have an IB strat where it takes 50% off, regardless of the micros. It takes 50% off at 2R, 25% off at 4R, and then the last 25% off at 6R. If it hits 2R and stops me out, I still make 0.5R on the trade. It's a way for me to manage drawdowns on a losing trade if it doesn't hit my real targets. But there's many ways. I do that. You don't have to do that. I choose to take 50% off at 2R because I'm managing risk. I'm managing the financial risk of the trade. Yeah, Adam, we hit 6R on that. If I take half off at 2R, then let's say price doesn't go to my target and it stops me out. Well, I still made money on that trade. And that's my way of minimizing losing trades over 100 trades. Because after that, if it does hit my targets, then I made my money. So I size up my trades more. So the starting amount is what I'm focused on versus trying to make the most on hitting my targets. So it really depends on how you identify and define.
I was pressing longs. I wanted to see the 430s trade. So yeah, that's pretty much the constant spiking of longs was what made my P&L today. What do I use for swing strength? I don't even know what that is, but if you're talking about like the reset, it's every 50 points. It's really just an arbitrary number. I don't have a rhyme or reason for it being 50.
Do you suggest taking the majority off the first target? I personally don't take the majority off the first target. I have the largest portion at my final targets.
Yeah, I don't like to take majority. Depends on how much size I have to really split them up, but it's probably like a third usually. It'd be like
Another thing I consider when I'm looking at my targets is like if I get into trade and all of a sudden we have what I refer to as an ATR bar, just an expansionary move in one direction, I'll move my targets up because I'm like, I'm right away. So I might like when I'm automatically my brackets are set, my targets are pretty much even. If I let's say I have 10 lots. Though, and that's not a number that can be divisible by 3. So it'll be 3, 3, and then 4. But if I have 9, it'll be 3, 3, and 3, if that makes sense. But if I'm in a trade and the trade is moving my direction instantaneously with speed, I move my targets up. And instead of just like picking an arbitrary price, I let the market play out because, you really don't know what the market's going to do. A lot of times, like, for example, actually yesterday when the markets spiked up massively, or was it Tuesday night? I got short CL, like literally the 5-minute high of the overnight session, and I just had my targets that were normal at the time. It was like, I think my final target might have been 70 ticks. Then news hit. I had no opportunity to even move my targets down. But had I been able to, I would have. But sometimes, that's just an example of like, my entry was great. Did I have any idea that was going to happen? Of course not. I did not know we're going to drop $10 in oil in a period of about an hour. But I always try to have a target far enough out there that I can move it down. But that just happened to be one of those moves that was so fast, so big that you couldn't even move it if you wanted to. But you got to ask yourself, how many targets do you have? Are you using 2 or using 3? And what are you basing those targets on? I know Christian mentioned he uses a 2 ATR target. I also use a 2 ATR target. So I think that's probably a good place to start.
How long did it take for me to become profitable? If you're counting props, 6, 7 months. But that's because it's prop, right? You only really lose when you blow an account, it's just what you spent on it. And when you get paid out, it's thousands of dollars. So that helped. That's why I'm always going to say, if props weren't around my first like year of futures trading, like I spent probably the first 4 months just losing money as usual. Then I discovered prop, and within like 2, 3 months, things started to turn. But I do think if they didn't exist, I don't think I would be here because I probably would have called it at some point. But actually, like dollar for dollar P&L, I don't know because I just stayed with prop for like 2 years. But I would say probably, I would guess like it would have been 2 years. Game is hard, man. Like if props didn't exist, I am not here. I do believe that. Lose too much money. Like your own capital and all that. I had no, like, I mean, my friends didn't trade. I'm the only one. And luckily I found like the OFL guys. So it's like like a community to trade with, to see their ideas, reverse engineer some things. The tools helped me really hone the order flow analysis because the more you see things, the more you're like, oh, this is when this tends to happen, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's that. In my playbook, I mentioned that I enter on taper below trap position, below trap positions. Where do I put stops? When I enter, I do it off of the DOM momentum too. And if you're looking at where the momentum is, where the dealing range currently is, you know what's kind of an extension of it. And that's when I want to get out. That's why you guys see me scratch out of trades or just take the trade off before my stop is even hit because, well, I don't like what I'm seeing now. The reason I got in is no longer presenting itself, and I would like to get out earlier than holding it. Yeah, fish. I saved so much money because of the existence of props, for sure. Because you can try stuff and learn stuff and forward test strategies with those accounts too, and not be burning your actual cash.
They weren't around in my day.
Yeah, I was gonna say props weren't around, and neither were micros.
Oh yeah,
That's
micros are a newer
unique
thing
as you're
too.
learning.
Yeah,
And then like I don't know what happened to it, but there were nanos at some point. I don't know if that's still a thing. But yeah, it's
is there? I don't know. It's
I mean,
Well, I guess when the indexes get big enough, they'll make one because the higher the markets go, the bigger the contracts get, and the bigger the contracts get, the bigger the variances and the P&L on one lot. So, I mean,
it looks like they did find a real a real buyer in those that 155 there, because hey, look at them now. They tried. Ruined my plans, that guy.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, I started trading futures, and gosh, I think it was like 2009 is when I first, or maybe 2010 when I placed my first futures trade. Um, but yeah, the markets were so small, I could use like a 12 tick stop, no problem in the NASDAQ. And I don't think I could ever trade with a 12 tick stop now in the NQ.
That's giving away free money, even if you are right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they would say back in the day, like you get a 50-point range day on ES is there's something really crazy going on. I mean, even if you get like a 25-point range day, that's totally tradable. If you get that now, everyone's crying.
Yeah. I don't remember how big the flash crash was for the Nasdaq. I think it was just over 900 points or maybe 1,000 in the YM, but I mean you see that often now. But back then it was like the end of the world,
Mm.
which was kind of crazy to see. But it's all about the notional value of the contracts, which are constantly growing realistically as the market goes up. But we had a 1,400 point day yesterday in the NQ, and that was the end of the world in 2010. But it's a different percentage change.
Yeah.
MBA, I'm not sure I understand your question. Would you change your contract size more than your stop loss or vice versa? Do you guys, I don't really understand that
I think
question.
he's like trying to dial in what size and what risk to use on a 50K prop account, which is a 2K max.
Okay.
Um, Contract size is what you should change versus stop loss. Yes, because if you're changing your stop loss, you're changing your strategy.
Yep.
So it doesn't make much sense. So you should definitely change the size.
Yeah, you got to know what your risk of ruin is. How many losses can you handle in a row before being basically blown out? If you're risking $200 with a 2K drawdown, you got 10 losses. Looks like the indexes are starting to hold.
Yeah, it looks like it wants to go back. We trade above 200s and Q. I would say that would mean they definitely found who they're looking for on the downside, and it's probably going to retest the high.
I go break even in a trade, Mia, after 2x the 5 minute ATR in my direction.
How do you alter your trading style and trading props versus cash? I'm a lot more scalpy with props. Because there's a lot of things you need to do. Like there could be consistency rules. There could be minimum days traded, minimum profit days, this and this. So when I'm scalping, it's like you get in, you do your work, you call it, you're done. Next. But in a cash account, you don't have to deal with any of that stuff. You do what you want when you want to, and you don't have to do anything at any point to be able to access your own money whenever you want to. So usually when you guys see me trade, like I'm holding positions, I'm scaling in bigger size. None of that stuff is as consequential to me as prop because they'll ding you for all kinds of things, right? You've got parameters, conditions to meet to get payouts. Not so much in cash. Yeah, I'm a lot more scalpy in the props for sure. Especially with payout caps, stuff like that. I don't have ideal risk reward. Chris has always he always looks at RR on his trades though. Maybe a better question for Chris.
I mean, like for my IB strat, I make 1.9 R for every 1 R loss. And I have a 56% win rate. So I'm okay with that. I mean, it's different based on, they said they like to take off most towards the end of the target, and I like to take off half at 2R. So that'll change your RR. Yeah, it's a good Q&A session. So keep asking those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing much
I love
happening
this. I love this. And I think you got 3 great people that can answer it in all great ways. But yeah, for me, an ideal risk reward scenario is 6R. But I'm very aware that that does not happen all of the time. I can only, like, my highest expectation. So I have 2 strategies that I primarily run. One is all in, all out. Meaning one target, one stop, and then the other one is going to be a multi target exit with automatic trailing stops. But if I'm all in, all out, my tightest risk reward ratio is the 6-to-1, and that's using a fib level that basically just every trade, if I buy the 50 and sell a negative 23 of my draw, it's a 6R. But that I'm very keen to be aware that that is only happening under specific market conditions. You need a trending market in order to do that. And basically with that setup, I'm looking for a pullback that's holding a tight stop with a continuation of the momentum from that entry into a new high or new low. But that is my ideal trade. Is that every trade I get into? No, it's just only under certain market conditions with extremely hard trends.
When do I go break even? When I decide that if price were to come back to that entry, I don't want it anymore. Or at least I want to take the chips off the table. A lot of traders commonly, I mean, it's a normal thing you see all the time. They'll BE the trade. The market will come back, take them, and then the trade will work again. When I put break even, it always means if this price trades again, I do not want any exposure in the markets because it might go further. And if it doesn't, I'll just get back in. It is not a P&L protection play. I don't want to lose any money on one contract, not even 5 points, 6 points. That to me doesn't make sense for my system. Especially if it's like you've already gotten paid on all the other contracts. And all of a sudden, like, what does that mean? To not take a loss on one contract, that 5 or 6 points or whatever it may be, that's inconsequential to everything. That's what I think. It's just a mental thing. Like, oh, all of my lots that I put on were profitable. Instead of, hey, I got paid on 4, 5, 6, and one I took like $100, $200 loss. Like, it's the same thing. Where do you want to take your chips off and where do you not? And that's just how it is for me. So if I am break even, the market's gone far enough for my idea, my thesis, for it to be like, all right, from here they need to really continue the thesis, or this is where it stops and that's it. This is what I'm going to get paid. And coming back, I want to wipe my hands clean from the trade.
I'll answer this one, Tom. Or the second part of this is your RR always the same every trade or your size. So what I do is I'm a percentage-based risk trader. So my size will vary depending on how much I'm risking for the account. And if I'm consistently risking, I mean, this won't apply. Actually, it does because I do it for the IB strat. So for the IB strat, I risk around $600 per account, an average of that from 550 to 650. And so based on the spread between the entry and the stop, I have an indicator that calculates the number of contracts that I need for that. And so my contract size will vary, but it'll keep the same risk in place. And as you let your runners run, you have if it's a very tight risk, your contract numbers is just significantly higher. So that's one way to size up. The other way is if you're a percentage based trader like I am, then if you're risking 1%, 2%, I mean, I know that's very little for some of the accounts that are being traded on for futures, but if you have a large account, 6-figure accounts, and you're trading 1, 2, or you're risking 1, 2, 3%, then that dollar amount will always increase as long as your account is increasing, right? So if in the start of January, you're risking 1%, you're risking $1,000. Well, by June, if you're up 30%, well, that's now, I mean, I don't know the math on that. 1% of that's 1,300 per risk. And so your size is you're compounding at such a higher rate that it's significantly better for you versus staying at a fixed dollar risk for months when, you know, if you go through a really good streak and you go through an environment that you're really good at, then you didn't capitalize as well as you should have because you were undersized. The reality was that you were undersized in those best environments for you. So it's also another thing is that you have to be aware and know in what environments do you do well. I do much better in a directional move like we've had in the last few days or at the end of March when we just went straight down because your position is just moving significantly further away from your entry versus range days, right? Range days they're great, but as a trend follower, I'm not going to make as much as I am with a range or a trend.
Yeah, range days, you know, that's another thing is just understanding the market conditions in which you're in. Because anytime you're swinging for a new high or swinging for a new low, you know, you're looking for market expansion, you're looking for trends. And if we're in a market that is just range bound, you're not going to get that 4R, you're not going to get that 5R trade. You're going to be lucky to get a 3R. Most of it's probably going to be 1.5 to 2R. In my experience in a range bound day. So just understanding the market conditions you're in and the position of which you're trading from is super helpful with your expectations for the market. And then someone asked a question earlier about how long you like to hold trades. Where is it? Let me look for that question. Mr. B. Yeah. Hindsight, you can see it holds, but how long do you want to see a level hold before entering, thinking about this level at 2155? So I look at two things. One, a level that I just trust and I'm willing to limit it. So I'm there as a buyer as I'm getting sold into. But once I'm in that trade, I definitely want to see that trade hold and react within 25 minutes. If I had bought a support here in the indexes and, you know, we're now been sideways for almost an hour, I would not be interested in staying in that trade because it wouldn't move my favor or very much. That would tell me that my entry is probably not ideal and that I should just scratch the trade. But if we're in a knife falling market, obviously nobody wants to catch a knife in either direction. I think the thing you got to be aware of is, you know, what signifies that a market bottom has occurred, even if you want to trade from the long side and we're falling, or let's say, you know, Tuesday night when we were ripping and you wanted to get short. Well, eventually that short's going to come. But we have a guest here. My dog is jumping in my lap. I like to see 25 minutes of action before 25-minute high be put in or 25-minute low be put in to make sure that I'm not catching a falling knife or doing vice versa.
Dog cam.
Hit the likes for the dog.
Doggy has questions too, but keep them coming, guys. I enjoy this, and hopefully it's helpful for you guys. Don't be shy. If you have questions, ask away.
Nick's got an important question. He asks, XY, what extension of IB is your chart based on today? All of them. All the extensions, Nick. I don't even have any outside of the 50%, which we are at and offering from. But Nick, I'm trying to get like, what are we looking at? I need like a light 600 points. I'm just looking for a light 600 points on the short. It's nothing too crazy. A little scalp.
Thanks, James. There was a question here at me a while back. Can you show us the IB trade you took earlier? Yes, would love to. So the conditions are, if we are above the daily 9 MA, I look for bullish trades. The second, well, that's the trend filter condition. It was met. Obviously, we're in a daily uptrend. The next rule is we need to reclaim the 25% mark of the IB, meaning we need to reverse from these lows, reclaim the 25% area, which was around 25,000, and then I can look for a pullback to buy. Okay, so this is the 25% area here. So once you get that first pullback, the entry rule then is to take a reversal long on the first lower high reversal of the pullbacks, meaning we have an uptrend, right? We pull back, and then when the lower high triggers above this 910 candle, I believe. Yeah, no, sorry, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 10 candle. So the trigger for my long was at, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was above this 810 candle, 1 point above. That was my trigger long. And my stop goes at the lows. And I'm looking, essentially what I'm doing is I'm waiting for buyers to show that they're here, right? Because we were at the lows. And while I got long in my own personal account in here, because I know we were at support, the IB has different rules. It's looking to wait for a higher low. Well, it's looking for the bounce first, and then it looks to buy the higher low. So we bounced, we pulled back, we created the higher low, and I entered there. And it has 50% off at 2R, 25% off at 4R, and 25% off at 6R. All TPs hit today. Each account made, I think, $1,600. And that's it. It's pretty simple. But it's the rules are consistent. I've been trading this since March 10th, and I'm close to passing the evals. And I've been doing a year-long manual back test, and so it averages around 6,000 a month. So we'll see what it generates until the end of July. Trying to catch up to XY's Lucid accounts.
Yeah.
Pablo Loshi. Yes, if you see that much delta either way and price isn't budging, it is absorption. But we did specifically see the price of 155. There was a guy who had a bid of almost 900 lots. So there's about half of that delta, more than half of that delta right there in that literally one price. Um, and after that, they've just been absorbing all the selling, which is why I moved the stop, my trailing stop up here, because I think if they do trade into the 200s, they have found the buyer that's going to hold the whole thing up. Because every time they traded under him, which is the 155s tapered, you would see single digit lots trading. Where is the selling? Well, they're being absorbed higher. And every time it blips through, no one's willing to press the gas. If that's going to be the case, I don't want to get in front of this if they're going to trade towards the 200s. It's called the tape reader. It's free. You can go sign up for access, orderflowlabs.com, get the freemium package. It's just like a histogram of the time and sales. So as you're seeing, you know, it's blue, it's getting stronger, it's tapering. That's like the tape, literally, the time and sales. It's just putting it into like this kind of histogram, a visual. So yeah, you can see it got really negative right here. They were selling it. They ran into a big buyer, and they're just trying to sell it like crazy. And eventually they get taken over, and it's holding higher now. So this could be that higher low. And if they can move this passive selling aside in the 190s, trade the 200s, that means they held really strong selling and they broke through passive selling that was willing to step down. It's all buy side at that point, and I don't want to be in front of it. So that's why my stop is right here, my trailing stop. And if this holds, give them another shot. I mean, I've been giving them a chance for it's like half an hour now. This candle's about to close. Not the strongest candle here. I was hoping for a really strong 1 hour close, and then we can just keep making our way down. But this looks like it could make its way back up actually. So what would be upside target? I wanted 430s earlier. I was just pressing longs for 430s. See ya, Tom Dog. It's called Tape Reader.
Take care, Tom. How often do I consider my PT as daily or 4-hour breached levels? How often do you consider your PT as daily or 4-hour unbreached? I don't know what you mean. Can you rewrite that, please? Say that, but in a different way.
I only use trailing stops with the runners. Get it moving. The rest I will market out to limit out or let them hit a limit TP. But for runners, I prefer to trail. Obviously, it depends, right? Right now, I mean, I do have a limit order, you just can't see it. But now you can. It's just right here. It's just a light, I don't know, a light 800 points. Obviously, there's no way I'm getting this because even if by some miracle we trade all the way back to the swing low, like the 960s, 970s, I don't think I have what it takes to hold through that anyway. So,
Oh, you know what? We have CPI tomorrow, right? That's why we're sort of flat here.
we are on in the morning, DEI Friday.
DEI. 2 DEI hires and then American White Boy here on your afternoon stream sesh.
Oh my God. I didn't remember reading that. MB, will your 5 minute, 5 minute approach be applicable around 10:15 ET? So let me go to that 10:15. So I don't know why you're choosing 10:15 maybe. So, I mean, look, I'm starting at 10:10. So I guess it depends on the charting software if what that bar is coded as for the time. But we have 1 bar down, 2 bar down, 3 bar down, 4 bar down, 5 bars down. And then we kind of just make a low. My 5 bar theory is very, very rarely do we continue longer than 5 bars. I mean, even look at this move up here that started 11:45, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar. And then we make that high. That's an ATR expansion, consolidate for 5 bars. This sell off here lasts 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, my 5 bar theory for those of you guys who don't know is just very rarely do we have more than a continuous 5 bar move in either direction. So for example, I actually was long. I got long this ES right around here earlier today. And as soon as we broke, this was one of those examples where I actually moved up my targets because we were at new highs within 10 minutes of my entry. And I thought we could expand up. So I actually dragged my target all the way up here. My target was like 71. And that was the final exit I had on the ES. But one of the things I did is as soon as we started going green, I was allowing myself to drag my targets up until we had completed a 5th bar. And on that 5th bar, that $71 level hit in the ES. So sometimes if you're in a trade and you see it going instantly your way, feel free to count, give yourself 25 minutes of run time. Because if we are going to have an explosive move like we had here from 11:45, there was the news trigger, there was the initial breakout, then there was like the news confirmation and trigger, and then there was like 1 micro pullback and then the final blow off. And we've really just been sideways ever since. But yeah, just watch that 5 bar sequence on the 5-minute chart. Feel free to go back on your charts and study it. It definitely happens more than you would think. And I don't know why. Somebody asked me why 25 minutes, why not 30, why not an hour? I don't know why that works. It's just literally something I noticed from looking at my charts. I don't, it could be a combination of systems that makes that occur. I cannot tell you why it works. I just know that it does. It's a lot of things in the markets. I don't think I try to figure out why to explain them. There's some things that can be explained, and other things it's just like, you just don't know. It just know that it works. But it does look like we're gonna bid up here.
White noise, thank you. I got trailed out. unfortunately, but hey, we got 50 on it, I think, the runner, so that's cool.
Yeah, we didn't come down to that support I wanted, so no buy for me. Forgot it was CPI, so I should have known that we were gonna possibly hold a tighter range here into the close.
I mean, it's a pivotal spot. They already reached this swing.
Oh, you know what I missed? Also, ES back tested prior day high. That was that low there into 47. Oh, I missed that.
Do I give shorts another chance?
We could turn this first hour here into a webinar.
Yeah. All the traders here could do like weekly webinars, Q&As. They're really good.
Yeah.
Chris, like previous day higher low, previous week higher low, previous month higher low. So you're saying, do I change my TPs if those levels get hit? So what I would essentially, let's say for example, like my target today in NQ was prior day high, right? At 250s, 260s, the zone. So if I were to sort of say I'm going to be looking for higher prices above this, I need to see acceptance now at this 250s, 260s area in order for price to tell me that, hey, we are holding, sellers are not able to sell it back down, and we can push higher. Then at that point, I will look for higher targets. But I need to wait for price to, or the market to tell me that it will do that. But instead, what did it do today? It tested 260s here in the morning, and that was like it for my morning trade. And then we rejected. We came back to it, rejected, came back to it, rejected. So in this area, we should have formed acceptance and held, but instead we rejected back down. And that's market telling you that we are not going to be breaking out higher, right? Similar to what XY said in the beginning. We tested prior day high 3 times. We couldn't hold, right, or form acceptance there and reject the lower. So why would I then look for higher if price is telling me it does not want to proceed into the next area of resistance? So then at that point, it either becomes a range bound afternoon. Why? Because we're above the breakout of the IB area. So that's now support. We're at resistance. And you have to think going into CPI tomorrow, we're going to be in a range. And we are, especially after the move that we've had not only today, but the last 2 days. We need to consolidate these gains. And you have to think that there's going to be more chop after, or sideways structure after that kind of strength.
Giving this a chance, short side here.
I think Jack and I are the ones with Discords here.
Yeah, if anyone's wondering, I do not have a Discord. I do not have a course either.
I have no position, Chi-Town. But my higher time frame target in CL, which I don't really have a expectation of that completing today. I'm trying to load it up here. Is down at 87.25 is my higher time frame downside target in CL right now. But we would need to hold this high we put in today.
XY, they're saying that
Scratch out
they're
the
paying
short.
$1,000 a month for your Discord. Who are they paying then?
When you guys find out who's got the money, you let me know. I'll go get it.
It's
It's Jim, yeah.
Right back up. Market sideways to higher so far after that resistance.
Yep.
How can you find me? How can you meet me? What was that joke earlier in the year?
Oh, may I meet you?
Can I meet you? How can I meet you?
You got to be like really rich to pull that off, though. Don't try that at home. try to follow us up to the highs, but I'm not sure they'll come back for these fills here.
I tell you what, the Dow is going to be my focus tomorrow. I just really like that structure. I feel like the rest of the market's going to, I mean, it really cracked above the prior day's high and is trending here through those highs. But yeah, I'll tell you what my higher time frame targets are for these indexes, which I am expecting to be completed tomorrow. I'm looking for 25,337s, which isn't even that much of a stretch at this point in time. And all the
More
way up
high?
at, let's see here. Oh, no, actually 25,450s in the NQ and the ES. I think we can get as high as 69.53 this week. Actually, that's tomorrow. I forgot it's Thursday. But yeah, tomorrow my upside target in the ES would be like a 69.11 to a 69.33. But I'm in the bull camp right now, especially this pullback not getting any deeper than we just did.
That 450 area, massive resistance. 450 to 500 was that January breakdown that we tested February 11th, and then that big fell breakout on February 25th. But yeah, that's as long as we hold this 25,100, 150s area, that's the target, 450 to 500. And then that'll probably mark a good sort of initial swing high of this move and can start like a daily consolidation.
My Ninja is frozen.
I'm a buyer in this upper range. Got two filled. Seeing if they hold this momentum. If not, I will just get out. I think I'll have to move these limit orders up.
There we go. Thought something was looking a little off with my charts. I'm like looking at one screen and looking at the other screen. I'm like, those don't match.
You got mismatched prices?
Nice push.
Yeah, for some reason my data wasn't coming through. We're all good to go. Yep.
Yeah, the yearly open, I think yes is closer, right? It's at 6,900, 6,900 something,
I don't have the yearly open, actually.
6,902.
That's ES's yearly open?
Yeah, and NQ is I can't tell, 478, 477.
478?
Yeah.
430s is okay. That's all I need. I wouldn't be too mad if they just ran off with these two lots here. I don't need the other two.
What do I have for prior day high? You have 25,250. Yeah, 250. I have 257. Oh, it's because you're using the RTH high. I use that whole day's candle. That's literally prior yesterday's high. Is it not?
There's so
I'm gonna
much
try to
positive
buy some
delta.
pullbacks here.
I'll buy a pullback with you if we can get a push into the close.
All right, I filled the third there. See if they keep this going down. Maybe fill some more. But if they keep pressing the gas sell side, I'm just going to scratch it.
Greetings, honey badger. The Netherlands. Never been. Just picked myself up a new passport, and I want you guys to know that they are on top of it. I did the expedited passport, and I mailed my information in on a Monday, and I had my passport the following Tuesday. I was pretty
You mean
impressed.
next day or next week?
Like the following week on Tuesday, but even still, I was like, wow.
No, I think they've been on it because I know some people who didn't even do the expedite and they got it in 2 weeks, which is kind of crazy. Because back then, you don't expedite, you wait in like at least a month.
Oh, I had to do
Expedite.
I had to do the emergency one time where I went into, luckily in Chicago, there's an office that isn't too far from me where you can just go in and get it same day. And that's the last time I renewed my passport. I'm on my third now.
Wait,
But
same day? You get there and you leave with a new passport?
Yeah, you get there and you leave with a passport. It's
Are
pretty
they
cool.
still, is that still a thing?
Yep, still a thing. You have to have like a flight within like 48 hours or something like that.
Oh, that's what you
Yeah,
meant
so
by
you
emergency.
gotta prove that you're traveling soon and you need it.
Is it like, that's like a stamp, right? Or is it an actual passport?
No, it's an actual passport. They give it to you there.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
they have that stamp. A lot of people were doing that last year even. They give you this like, they'll just put a stamp that's like, okay, this guy's good, for this trip. But luckily,
Yeah.
I've not been in emergency situation like that.
Yeah. Well, emergency vacation, you know how it goes. Just have to
Everybody's been
go.
there
Have to
before.
go. Yeah, I was to the Cayman Islands. A friend of mine's like, get down here. I got a house. I'm like,
You didn't call us.
my passport's expired. This is 10 years ago. So call you next time. I got an Italy trip in September. You can meet me there.
Ninja meetup at Lake Como.
Yeah, I mean the lake guys. I cannot believe the amount of people we have watching NinjaTrader live in Lake Como. It's unbelievable, and also the Maldives. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Someone's watching from the Maldives?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's just to keep filling out the form. I guess we're gonna have to go.
Yeah. Very unfortunate, but we'll make it happen.
It's kind of far.
Any excuse to go to the Maldives. I guess we gotta go.
Babe, where are you going? Oh, I gotta go to this work trip.
Work
You
trip.
don't even want to go. Where? I don't know. It starts with an M. Michigan, I think.
It's like,
Next thing you
I've
know,
always
why are
wanted
you
to
at the
go there.
Maldives?
Pobloshi, I would say the majority of my orders are limits. There is an occasional situation where I am more aggressive than that. And I do not know what that average is against me because they're all different. My stop sizes are different based on the ranges that we're in. So I'm not even sure if that would be helpful for me to know. Like in this specific circumstance, the range isn't that aggressive right now. So if I get this pulled back here, my stop size will be 1.5 ATR, which is 42 points.
Oh, lucky scratch there.
But on another trade earlier, the ATRs are pushing up towards 100. So double the stop size, half the size.
All right, either they hold here or it's potential reversal again. I got a lucky scratch just now.
I'd love to go to the Netherlands. It's on the bucket list. Only so much you can do though. So much travel. Oil's really pushing up another leg up higher here. So that's the only thing that makes me a little concerned about a continuation in these indexes. If not, we'll just falter right back down. Not sure if might go a little deeper in my pullback anticipation here. Drop my bid down a few more points to 91.75.
$175.
Yeah, it's the 50% retracement roughly from the 235 low, and really where we broke out of. Let me bring that to the forefront.
I'm going to try a long here if we reclaim.
Sell side still pouring in, it looks like. $662s or 6862s ES would be nice.
Just ping-ponging in a range here.
Tape bomb. Instant bid.
It's 1,000 lot hit the tape at 25,155. Is that's huge. Somebody
Yeah,
say-
earlier that was where it got really crazy. Huge
Did it
absorption.
wait? It filled.
Dude, a guy flashed 815 first and it filled instantly. It wasn't even picked at. Instant fill, 815 negative delta.
That's insane.
And then it just kept holding. Every time they traded below 155, maybe like 2-3 points below, no volume. No one wanted to smoke. That's why I was like, all right, we're gonna trail this stop now because hey,
to fit that
that's the real deal.
in one tick, he filled that.
One tick, they filled it.
I don't understand how that works.
Called them up, said a handshake deal. 155.
He must though.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I mean, that's when I was like, yeah, I think they found who they're looking for. The buyer that's gonna hold the market, because after that, they just kept holding. They kept reloading the bid. Now it's the higher low, and then they start to kind of like move up in price action. I'm still trying to like get a long entry here. I'm like I'm scratching out as the selling comes in, trying to be really careful, get some carefully size into this thing, see if they want to pop this up, because as we do pull back, there is still that bid is still there. I can see it. I just don't know
for a
how
long two here.
serious they are.
how much money is that? I'm going to do the math of the notional value right now times 1,000, 25, 220 times 20. That would be a $500 million position.
Something light, something
half
light.
half a bill in a click.
I was hoping that we would just end up trading under that, and that would be the further like fuel to the flame, but they were serious. It wasn't just that guy too. Like whoever it was, or maybe an aggregate of people after seeing that, like they were reloading passively over and over and over on the bid. Couldn't push it anymore. Looks like we might be getting the push, so
All right, join on a long here.
I'm gonna try to get a fourth lot in here. Move the risk up.
See, we are able to push out into the end of day. Now I have my stop at 0375.
They failed to bid here. We're going to slip right through and downwards again. It's going to be a pretty big trap from what it looks like
no.
here on the volume.
I
This
cancel my
is
order.
last chance in my book. This is just my lens. I think they got to hold this. There's a lot going on here. They don't hold this, we'll probably see that 155s again. See if he's still there.
Yep, pretty mild session. We had one bar of action that we've literally almost been inside of since, and that was right at that 2 o'clock with that Saudi report on the infrastructure.
I thought it was gonna be a spicy session after seeing that huge 815 lot instantly filled. I was like, oh, I think it's about to get really spicy. Don't know which way, but it's gonna be spicy. And then
Alrighty.
they really mellowed out and drifted back up.
We're getting
Yes, above 62 is a good sign.
yeah.
A lot of selling under the 62s. ES. See if they can hold them there. Passive selling here. 220s and Q. So if we can break above the passive selling, I think we've got some pretty good info. Buy side's ready to push.
There was a question here. Where was it? David, could you give a short explanation on how you determine where you place your support and resistance lines? So these zones here that you see are just, now they're an indicator, but I would draw these manually year after year before, the help of Claude. But these are, it's hard to explain. Let me show the on trading view, it's better. So they're darker colors, right? So the darker color zones are what control or govern the environment, meaning if we're above a darker zone, then on a higher time frame, we are in an upward movement towards the next darker zone here at 408, 420. The lighter zone is sort of like a pit stop, or I call these the bull bear zones, which is exactly at the 50% mark of these darker zones. And if you go back in time and we look at sort of for reference, you can see that most of this consolidation here was capped at this darker green zone at 110s. So I use them in order to help me say, okay, from an environment perspective, if we're above this 25,100, 120s area, then we're in a bullish environment and I have to lean long, right? And I have to look for the next zone, which in this case was prior day high, and we got that. And then if we can reclaim the prior day high or this 260 zones, then the magnet still remains 408, 420. If we dip back below 110s, then I know to look for the next zone. But they're all at 50% sort of ranges from each to another. And it's, it gets a little bit more complex because then you go to the 4 hour and the daily, and they've now become daily zones, which are different from the hourly zones. But it's, they're part of my system that I've created, and it, for some reason they work well with volume profile or Fibonacci. Like a lot of the times those end up being similar targets in the market. So instead of just looking at all of those, I just created these zones and I just follow those. Yeah, a lot of lines, but it's easy when you can just say, okay, I'm just looking for that zone as target. Because we always hit it. I mean, look where we found resistance at 250s, 260s. If you go back in time, where did we find support? 960s. Where was the IB high resistance? 110s. And price respects these levels extremely well. Support. Again, time and time again. So they help make trading easier because I know what I'm looking for as targets.
Pretty thick sell here in the 220s upwards.
Yeah, I'm still being patient. I know I'm looking for, I got 96.75. I keep going back and forth between how aggressive I want to be with the limit. It's just not fast enough for me to be moving it up too hard here.
Yeah, they're really slowing down. They're trying to chew through that offer. They're putting in the effort.
Yep.
This
Got
looks like there's a lot.
30 minutes left here. Bottom of the
Yeah.
hour.
Honestly, I really need them to pick this up because then next thing you know, it's almost algo time and all that stuff.
Come on, give us a push. This one's higher.
If they don't really assuming they go back to Friday high, if they don't really accelerate through that, I'm gonna take off maybe 2 instead of just 1.
The thing, you're probably going to get that last 50 minutes. If we're going to break out of that prior day high, I think, it's going to be worth holding that trail if you guys, stay long here. I like your targets, Chris.
Yeah, I want to stay at least a runner. Trying to get that prior day high.
XY with the just in case we rally 200 points. I love the optimism.
Come on. You gotta look. Earlier, I
Is that
wanted
how
down
you
800.
tease
Now I
the
want
market
up
higher?
200. You can't trust a scalper,
You're just
I'm
like,
hot
just
and
in
I'm cold. I'm
case.
toxic.
Here's that bid. All right, I'm gonna have to move up higher if I'm gonna want to.
All right, just took half off at nice. I took half off at 1.5 R. I'm looking for that. What do you call that? That 260 zones that I keep talking about? Let's see if we can get up there. Take more off. What indicator is on Trading View? Which one? Or which one were you talking about? Is the indicator free? It's available. It's free for those in the group only because it's part of the system that I teach. So apologies, but this one, I have other indicators that are free, but this one I do have to have it only for the group because it's part of the system. You might just see it as lines, but it plays a big part in.
We're out half. All right, let's see if I can hold 2 for 200 points.
Let's go.
Is that asking too
No,
much?
let's go. If you get that hit, I will I don't know what I'll do. I'll do jumping jacks.
Hey, he said it.
I will do jumping jacks. Yeah, I will do.
What are the conditions? What are the conditions?
I'll do 10. I'll do 10. I'll do
What are
20.
the conditions here?
If you get a 200-point target in the close, I'll do 20 jumping jacks.
Does it have to be on both lots?
With my dog in my arms. No, it doesn't have to be on both lots. It can.
Because it probably won't be on both lots. There's no way.
I'm not gonna make you sweat that.
All right.
Yeah, I'll shave my head.
Chat, hit the likes.
I'll shave my head on whatever. Stream. Trump comes out with the war's over.
The war is over. If you're not trading towards 436 NQ, you are a loser.
New all-time high. Now he only does that when the market's closed, so we can't trade it, or we just all left our desk.
He goes, Baron, are you ready? Baron, are you positioned?
Yeah, no, it's George just mentioned something back to the morning conditions. Oil is starting to taper off here, which, if that thing can really start reversing, these index are going to push up. I wasn't aggressive enough to get in there on that bid, but my bid's going to move up with this market.
All right, I moved my stop to minus 0.5 R. And I'm looking for new highs.
They're not going to fail this again, are they?
Come back to 24s.
No, we can't do that. No. There's no time for that. There's no time for that.
Let me in.
Stop looking behind us. We're not going that way. There's no time for that.
When you're like, I'm waiting for a pullback, but that was the pullback. You just, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
After the move happens, you're like, okay, looking for a pullback. Little did we know that was the pullback.
That was the pullback.
I mean, a lot of selling hitting the tape right now. I'm hoping that this is that last batch of selling and they just get ran over. Jack cannot find his way in the 20s.
Hey, if I don't find my way in and you end up 200, I'll be happy. I'll be happily doing my jumping jacks. I need to get some physical activity. I've been sitting in this chair too long for too many days.
Dude, I am on my desk from 5:30 in the morning till 5:30 in the afternoon. I mean, obviously I walk dogs and stuff, but
Yeah. No, it's been an active week. It's definitely been a week where you're going to want to be at your desk a little more. It hasn't been slow. That's for sure. Not a slow week. And when the action's there, you got to be ready to work.
yeah. Especially if it's in your environment, you just have to show up and, extract the most.
Mm-hmm. Chris and XY are long digi. You can see their positions on the screen.
Most overrated exercise in the gym. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Upright row. What's it called? The ones that really mess up your wrists and no one knows that it does. That
Oh,
row,
really?
just-
Yeah,
That
those are
that
really
mess-
bad for you, yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on how much weight you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, yeah, you could do lighter weights, but then at that point, you could just do a whole other exercise
Jim
that's really loaded.
Jim told me you're hiding nothing but muscle under those black tees.
I'm trying to lose weight.
So, I guess I'll be taking my workout advice from you, according to Jim.
don't do those workouts that he says.
Said XYJ basically looks like Jay Cutler with a shirt off.
Oh, definitely not. I've been trying to cut fat for, I don't know, 10 years now. It's not going too well. There's too much good food.
Too much Houston's, huh?
Do you guys move stops up once in profit? Depends how much profit. I mean, my stops are up now because we've already hit prior day high. I've got 2 stops for these 2 lots. I want to be able to trail one when they just run past prior day high. At this point, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it anymore because the tape is slowly fading. So if the buyers don't really step back in up here, which is what they haven't been doing yet, they'll come back slightly above break even
Where
at
did
this
they
point.
start
But
selling this NQ from?
we need buyers to actually be willing to buy through these prices, and we haven't really seen that
Yeah,
yet.
buy them up. We're in an uptrend. Now that we get an uptrend, people are like, no, we're going back down. We just went down for like 3 months.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a fan of uptrends.
We need that. We need that tweet. We
what
need
do you
that
mean?
tweet.
We're gonna go down and go through pullbacks, but you gotta let supports break first. We can't even break IB low.
All right, here's the over under. When are we back at all-time highs?
What is all-time high NQ price? What is that
That's like 6 months ago. We haven't had, I mean, this is a long period without a new all-time high.
I would say we could do a middle of May if the momentum continues.
26,400-ish NQ. What's ES's all-time high?
Oh, I think ES will get there first. I'd have to check.
ES never hit 7K, right?
I think as long as I've been on Ninja, we've been below all-time highs, which is crazy.
No way.
Yeah, we have not made a new daily high since I've been on.
I think we found a correlation.
You're the bearish
I
indicator.
am the curse.
How do we get rid of him? Jack is the cooler.
And that's in the Nasdaq. ES's all-time highs back in February. So, but the Nasdaq.
What's the price?
The price is 70.43. So we're gonna be there in a jiffy. I mean, that was the slowest sell-off I've seen in a long time.
I know.
I do think, and I said it last Thursday, because me and Nick have this running joke every Thursday that we were on. Literally, the market was down, except last Thursday was the first day we reversed off the lows, and I said it then that the lows are in now because it was literally I think like 8 Thursdays in a row or something ridiculous. maybe not quite, but like almost every freaking Thursday. And if you guys think about it, the candles have been closing green every day this month from open, I believe.
Daily candles?
Yep. Yeah. On the ES
Oh,
at least.
yes.
I'm looking at the ES.
What day was this?
So
Thursday.
it's important to keep that in mind in your context of trading. Like, we are making new highs. You got to be confident holding for them when you get good seats, as XY says. I know, there was some good seats this morning. We have a little bit of a pullback, but once that move begins, you do what XY does and you just put your target 200 points higher and wait for me to do jumping jacks.
It'll work at some point. And when it does, make sure you tell everyone about it.
That's right. How else would they know?
Give it to us.
How else would you be able to get course sales? Yeah, there's so much selling pouring in up here. I hope this is nothing more than fuel to the flame. There's a lot of selling.
Oh,
ES
shit.
is looking at negative.
Chap says we can reverse Jack's curse if everybody has their puppies on screen.
XY, you have a dog?
Yeah. Got a little pup.
Oh,
Here in-
mine's been
here in
a
the
little overzealous today with the screen time, so
Try to talk into the
sit in front of
mic.
you and stare at you all day. Take me out. Take me out.
Easy bar and use that for upright rows. I know what an easy bar is, but I don't want to do upright rows. There are plenty of other exercises to do. I subscribe to the Athlean X gospel. I don't know if you guys know who Athlean X is, but if you do work out, you should check it out. Jeff Cavalier, the GOAT.
I'm a P90X kind of guy.
Insanity with Shanti.
Oh man.
I actually did a couple rounds of that when I was younger, but
I tried 2 episodes and I quit.
it's pretty intense.
It's intense.
It's pretty intense.
I used to do their ab workouts.
Their ab workout is hard. Getting through that whole thing, oh man, that takes some practice.
I remember watching. So there's 2 people, right? It's a dude and a girl. It's like some Asian girl, and she's killing it. I'm like, who the hell is this person? How come she's never tired? She's like following along. You see the other guy, he's like struggling. I'm like, yeah, I'm like that guy.
Yes, I do 2010 exercises. I don't know, classic Arnold. I mean, how much advancement do you really have in the exercises you can do? Is there really that many new exercises since 2010? I'm not quite sure.
No, it's just variations of them. I think hip thrusts were like the newest, biggest workout in like the last 10 years, no?
Yeah. I know they got those ab machines. You just strap them on your belly, and apparently like an hour or something is like 6,000 sit-ups.
Oh, I've seen that.
What?
That work?
Yeah, they're real apparently. Like, it's like an electronic impulse thing. Yeah. I mean, it hurts like a what, but it's like they have them at like spas, like med spas. But yeah, they're real. I haven't tried them. Otherwise, I'd just be shredded. But they're
Imagine
like,
just
the machine's
casually-
like expensive. It's like at least 50 grand. I want to
what's it
say.
called? 50 grand.
I don't know. Somebody here knows. Jim
Imagine
knows.
you're just talking to a friend. Oh, I was working out. What'd you do? 6,000 sit-ups. What?
What's the trick? Oh, just 6,000 sit-ups.
What's your PR? 6,000? And how long? It took me a week.
All right, well, I've got a decision to make. It's almost algo time. And
Just keep it.
if I'm still holding these 2, are we running that?
I've been volunteered to do sit-ups now. I feel like now I feel like a dancing monkey, which is fun.
Anything for the likes.
Anything for the likes. I tell you what,
Wait,
though,
will
I
we
might
even have the
do those
likes?
off stream. You guys wouldn't be able to see me
Well,
if I
we
played
need
out on
at
the
least
floor.
500 likes, guys. They're at 225. Come on
Yeah,
now.
I would say for the Q&A sesh.
Yeah, it was a banger of a stream. It was a big one. Q&A, some winning trades,
Winning
workouts.
trades.
We're working out here.
Puppies.
See me
Puppies.
flip from I want short 800 points lower to I want long 200 points higher.
Oh man.
We can
Should
get
I
those
take
likes
off?
up.
Should I go
absolutely-
down to 1 for the algo?
Dude, I think you're gonna get the moon pump here end
Yeah,
of
but what
day.
if it wicks me out first?
Well, I thought you were walking on padded P&L. Time to push it. Come on.
I am, but I like
Push
the
it.
current padding too. The current padding is a
Why
nice
don't you
padding.
hey move one stop tight real quick below
Yeah,
that
I'm trying to
5-minute
do-
low.
But now if I move this stop, it's only like up like 20 points. I'm like, what am I doing getting out 20 points? So I needed to push. All right, we got like 4 minutes for them to actually make a push.
That prior high of the day right there is 25,257. I think as soon as we punch through that into the end of the day, you're gonna get some. I don't know. This is like a recipe.
I wanted that. I wanted that earlier so I can start moving one of my stops up.
Yeah,
But,
give you a little
dude,
more room.
They are selling the hell.
Well, I'd
out.
hate to see you get stopped into my fill.
I would hate that.
I would hate that.
I would have to revenge.
No, I
fill.
mean,
Like,
if
nah,
I
there's
don't-
no way he gets this without me. I'm hopping on too.
Yeah, if I
It's
don't know. I'm
It's a
canceling
spike
this
fill
order.
at that point. Spike trade.
Fine. We'll get it.
There's
You'll
no way
get
I'm letting him make money on this without me.
it. Competitive spirit.
We can all be friends.
I'm about to make a choice soon. I know for sure I want to hold at least one, but what do I do with this one? I got like 2.5 minutes to just make a push and make it easier on me to trail this. Or else Jack might be up to bat next in the 20s.
Yeah. I'm ready for
Alright,
it.
we're seeing some speed. We're seeing a bit of
It's
speed.
forming acceptance here. It wants it. There's a little bit of changing character
Yes.
versus the last few attempts here. The
I
last ones
agree.
were push hires, rejection, push higher, rejection, push higher, rejection. We have acceptance here so far. We have a wedge setup, which is bullish.
I think the last few were the market.
Send
just
it.
trying to tell Jack, like, just
I
get
might
right
just
here,
want to.
man.
I might just buy one to be in there with you guys. There we go.
Send it.
I'm just gonna to participate. I want to
trailing.
participate. I don't want to be left out.
FOMO, ultimate FOMO. This is a new layer of FOMO.
I'm tilting.
It's not the
I'm
market.
tilting.
It's I
I'm
want to be in with
marketing
these
in on
guys.
highs just to be with you guys. One micro.
Send it.
All right, I'm gonna go for 76. here.
Here we go. Come on.
I'm gonna put a TP at 340 for one.
There you go. Up $4. Look at that.
Don't let me buy you lunch.
Up for $1. Close it, man. Close
Get
it.
that McDonald's discount, employee discount.
Yo, I got it. I told you I wanted a piece of this action. Go to the grocery store with this money.
Oh no.
Oh, what happened?
Wrong way. Wrong way.
Wrong way. No.
Wrong way.
Did I jinx it? No, it's gonna take the last 10 minutes. I'm gonna pump it up to 92s.
They need to give me more distance with this trailing stop so that it doesn't just wick it. I need more distance. Might have to move my second trail too.
I tell you what, if I do make $75 in the next 10 minutes, that's actually not a bad hourly wage.
No?
Not bad, yeah. I mean, it's not even an hourly wage. That's 10 minutes. You just worked for 10 minutes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like multiply that out by the hour, $75 every 10 minutes. So not
Could
that
it
good
be
for that.
so simple?
It could
just buy the
I
market?
wish. I wish.
ES is really struggling here.
It is. We have a divergence between those two.
ES is still experiencing some pretty nasty sell here.
We need a ceasefire.
Now.
Another one.
All right, what am I gonna do? I got 30 seconds. What the hell am I gonna do with this? Do I keep this trail here or do I just book one lot?
I'm gonna put my stop to break even. I'm done with the trade.
Sorry, guys. As soon as I joined, I just top ticked the market.
The cooler.
You top take the
He's
market
the white
for the
van
year,
secret agent, man.
for the day.
Attention
They're
traders.
in his ear like
It's algo time.
5 seconds. All right, let's get greedy. I'm gonna move this down.
Oh.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
I take back everything I said about Jack. I
Tell
take
me you
it all
love
back.
me. Tell me you love me.
Yo, it hit my TP. It didn't take me out. What the hell?
You TP already? It didn't take you out because we're going higher.
Well, I had my next partial at 69 and it did not. What did
At
it
what
hit?
now? All right, we're trailing one.
Look at this
The other
comment.
one
Good
is still
stream,
break
team.
even.
I listen every day, but learned quite a bit today from the questions being answered.
Oh, it
Thank
hit
you, JC.
65.
Moon.
Push it.
We need some
There we
pump
go.
it up.
Come on.
Yeah.
Chad.
doing the opposite of what we should be doing.
No, he's gonna
teaching
buy
here.
every price until we trade 430s.
I just add one micro every new high.
It's like constant stop buy orders on the way up. No take profits. It's just another buy stop. All right, ES needs to really play
Yo,
ball.
come on,
here.
take me out here.
You said 69?
Yeah, and it hit
They
65.
traded above it. That's what it looks like.
No, it hit
Oh, even. That's live market things.
I
Man.
have 68.75 that it hit.
If you were trading sim, you would have got filled.
Dude, 0.25. It's like the third time that happens with you.
Oh, you're right. Hey,
Just by 0.25.
must be the money.
Hey, that's a great song.
It's Chris's favorite song. It's his theme
Yeah,
song.
guys, help me out with that song now. This is where we should have that song come out.
Oh, that's stop outs.
They like to
It's
play
only
that
for
when
your
I
stop
get
outs.
stopped out.
Is that Nelly?
Yes,
Was-
it is
yeah.
the Saint Lunatics.
Okay, there. I just took some off. I got filled. Let's go
I
for
filled
6R
that.
now.
340.
There we go.
I have 307. You're looking for 340?
Dude, I got 25 292s, guys, in case you're wondering what I'm doing with my micro.
I want 340.
In case you're
and then
wondering where the
430.
market's gonna top tick. It's my size.
It's that
Don't
one
mind-
micro. Everybody
don't
turn
mind me.
around.
Don't mind me holding the market down.
Send it.
We need to see that 1,000 lot again. He ain't selling. He holding.
Yes, man.
Oh, look at that rejection.
Come on, ES.
Yes, my camera follows me, just like my dog.
His dog's his cameraman.
Exactly. I just strapped a GoPro to her head and just, if I go, she goes.
Well, chat. ES.
That was exciting for 2 minutes.
Who's selling ES?
Must be those profit takers.
Yesh Wan Chow. I don't know how to read your name. I'm sorry. Send me a message on X or Twitter X at trading underscore boxes. And I can tell you about my group. I don't have it public. I don't have a link for the Discord. I like to keep it small. So if you send me a message and I can tell you about it.
Take care, Ivan.
All right, this is gonna be big here.
It's gonna make or break my week.
This is the double or nothing algo.
Yeah, Ivan, thanks for joining us. So
Double or
shit.
nothing algo. Yeet. I'm down to 1. Trailed me out of that.
I put the rest of my position at stop at break even. A little bit above just to make some vending machine money.
Give this a bit of room.
That's a Big Mac meal right there. It was $22, Jack.
I know. Now it's gonna cost me a Diet Coke.
He was he was at $4, then he quadrupled it.
I'm down a sandwich.
Looks like we ain't eating tonight.
Maybe from the dollar menu. Does that exist still?
Does not exist. Oh my gosh.
They still call it the dollar menu, I think,
No,
but the only
it's-
thing that's $1 is like a small drink. Everything else is like $5.
No, it's that apple pie thing. No, that's probably $1.
Maybe
I don't even
that.
think anything's $1 by me. But yeah, no, my favorite pastime versus is the 5-layer burrito at Taco Bell. Used to be 89 cents. It is $7 now.
What?
I'm like, what in the inflation is that? How do you go from 89 cents to $7? I wasn't in high school that long ago.
Dude, you should have just went long the 5-layer burrito.
Dude, I know. Like that has outperformed the S&P by 10.
Go long the McChicken, go long the McDouble, long the 5-layer burrito.
It's great.
Value.
Great meal. Yeah, no, that's the most dangerous part about living in a city with Uber Eats is you can literally just get world-class food to your door in like 40 minutes from literally 500 different restaurants. You're like, if you're lazy, man.
Yeah, you step out and spend $100 already.
I don't leave my house without spending $100. I like go outside for like to walk my dog, and somehow I spend $100, and I don't understand where
you
it
step
went.
outside your door, you're already down 50. Service fee for leaving. Then you got a tip on that. You got a tip.
My favorite is the surprise fees at like restaurants now. They're like, oh yeah. It's tax, tips
extra
included,
5%,
and then convenience fee. What is a convenience fee? Just put it in the food. What is this another 4%?
Do you guys have like that 5 to 8% extra? And like there's they'll call it, I don't know, like a whatever fee, and it'll have a message that's like, this is not tip. This is to help your server with, living costs.
They make you feel real guilty about it.
Their health insurance, this and this. And then it's like, this is not tip. This is for this. I'm like, dude, what
this is so your server's dog can eat.
Yeah, and if you don't pay this, well.
Hey guys.
Hey Jim.
Hey Jim.
Hey Jim.
Good show, man. Good stream today.
Thank you.
You know, it was a good one.
We were ready to have really have some fun, and then the market decided not to give that to us.
And then Jack joined.
Yeah, then I got in.
Along.
I got in.
They sent in the cooler.
The cooler.
The cooler. He looks like the cooler actually with those glasses.
Does he look like an undercover cop?
If they were good, I'm jumping on the bandwagon, Jack. If you give a good review, a good thumbs up, I think I might follow suit.
I'll let you try them on in Miami.
All right, sounds good. Someone's got XY. You still got position on, huh?
Yeah, I'm trailing this long here. I mean, I'm giving them a chance to really just do something crazy on the upside. Um,
You're running
yeah.
out of time.
At this, yeah, no, yeah. At this point, I ain't expecting too much anymore.
Would you carry it over the Globex hour, the close?
No.
No.
I'm going to wipe my hands of
Yeah, I'll
the
close mine
day.
too. Call it a
Oh,
day.
Christian, I don't see your screen, Christian. You're still what are you? Oh, okay, you're the same.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's done. Day is done.
Here's the craziness. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
68.
All
What do we
right, I
quote
closed
this?
mine.
68.60.
Yep. They trailed me out.
Good
Hmm.
sesh,
Yeah.
everybody.
Great, great sesh. Hopefully the apex of this conflict is behind us. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm hoping.
Mhm.
We are hoping. We'll learn more tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is my favorite day of the week, for a lot of different reasons. By the way, tomorrow is Friday the 10th, and it is National Hug Your Dog Day. So
Oh,
someone came up with that. That's a thing. That's tomorrow. So I know Jack has a dog. I don't know about the other two guys. Christian, refresh my memory. You have a dog?
yeah, I have 2 dogs.
You had two. Well, you got to give two hugs then.
Yep.
Yeah. My guess is XYZ. I don't hear any barking from the basement, so I don't think he's got a dog.
Yeah, Jim was nice enough to let me bring my dog. So it's not all bad, guys. Could be
Oh,
worse.
okay. There we go. In any event, but tomorrow, to be more precise, we have in the morning we have me, Shy, and Blake Morrow. The Pips are kicking things off, and then it is Capital Preservation Friday, Ferragamo Friday, with the one and only Pax. He'll be joining us as usual on a Friday, and then XYZ and Christian are coming back to trade the open. So we'll see you two guys tomorrow. Looking forward to that. And then a little bit later in the morning, they will be joined by Lumi and Stowe 40, the Stowe 42. So a full lineup tomorrow, all the way till 1 o'clock. Remember, we go to 1 o'clock instead of 12 on Fridays now. Looking forward to it. Gonna miss Jack. Jack, have a great weekend. We'll
Yeah.
definitely talk to you next week, my friend. And I'll say the same to you guys tomorrow morning when I see you. So, having said all that, I appreciate everybody being part of the NinjaTrader Live community. You guys are awesome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating in the chat. Thank you for going back and looking at the videos. And there's a lot of videos up there now. Appreciate you. You guys are what makes this a great network, not us. So, thank you for that. Most important message of the day, please be safe out there. Be good to each other. We'll see you soon.
Thanks,
Take
Jim.
care, guys.
Chat.
Take care.
Chat later.
Later, chat.